Good day, everyone. It's Peter Dunn, Pete the Planner, host of the Pete the Platter Show, coming to you live from Indianapolis, Indiana, with my normal co-host, Damian Dunn. Hello, Dame.
Hey, Pete.
And we picked up some additional talent this week with Bring Your Nerd to Work Day, Ollie. Ollie, we're on a radio show, so waving does nothing.
Oh, okay. Great.
So, Ollie, tell the people out there a little bit about yourself. Starting with is a good way to go. Professional broadcasting lessons here today. Oh, this is great.
I'm a gymnast. I play soccer, but soccer season's not going on right now. School's fun.
Yeah.
I launched a rocket yesterday.
That's not a euphemism. You physically launched a rocket?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
And you're in 6th grade?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, welcome everyone to the show. I decided to have Ollie sit in at the pre-show. Maybe the first segment. We'll see how it goes. You know, since we're professional broadcasters, we try to avoid certain words on the radio, such as Uncle Dame got you. So, hey, out there today, here's what we're doing. Dame, we got to have a little bit of a pre-production meeting. I want to do a stock market year-in review, despite the fact that we have a month to go.
Seems right.
And let's be honest, this is a little bit of a lazy segment because it's an easy segment to do, and I just didn't want to think.
Fair.
Okay. Second segment is either going to be that question that your team worked on this week, which I've got to then find, or it will be which schools, which colleges have the most Parent Plus loans. Is that how that segment goes?
Yeah, something like that. What's the average Parent Plus loan per school?
Okay, fantastic. Are any of our regular listeners here? I don't see anyone commenting yet. Maybe the mechanism to do that is broken. No one knows. If you're out there, say hello on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. We're in both of those places. Ollie, tell us what you know about money before we get started here. Oh boy.
There's
What do you, Ollie, you used to have a podcast, didn't you?
Yeah.
And what happened with the podcast?
Well, we didn't do it anymore after some time because I didn't have enough time.
I can't imagine if you were normally this quiet and used so few words. Like, our life would be amazing. I'm just sure. All right. So we've got some normal friends here. Daniel says, good day. And Ann says, hello. That's nice, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Tell us about your sweatshirt you've got on there.
Oh, yeah. This is my Hoosier Cup gymnastics sweatshirt. This is a gymnastics meet that was back
pre-COVID,
December last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What skills are you trying to nail right now, Ollie?
Run off back handspring back tuck. I have it. It's just not good.
Yeah.
So I got to work on it.
Same. Excellent. Ollie, we're going to talk stocks in the first segment. Do you want to sit in on that or do you want to pass on that?
I'll sit in.
Okay. You ready to go? Have you had any energy, any calories today? I feel like you're a little zombied out. You good to go?
No. No.
Okay. Excellent. So as a team here today, Dame, here's what we want to work on. We want to work on you and me and anyone else. We're going to try not to say the word on the air. Okay. See, he can't do it. Oh yeah. Every time you say it's going to be like a swear jar, Ollie. Every time you say we take your phone for a day. How's that sound?
That is
fair. I love it.
No.
Thank you, Todd. All right.
No.
So listen, we're about to start the show. Okay, I'm about to start the show. Dame, we will announce this at the beginning of the segment. Every time Molly says she loses her phone for a day.
Why?
Because we're working on broadcasting.
That is no.
Okay.
Why would
Olivia, if you're going to come to work, you got to play by the rules. All right. In 3, 2, 1. This week on the Pete the Planner Show, we answer your money questions. Here's how the show works. You email us, askpete@petetheplanner.com. That's askpete@petetheplanner.com, and we will answer your question. Maybe. Joining me, as always, is my good friend and not relative, Damian Dunn, Vice President of Advice at Your Moneyline and Hey Money. Hello, Dame.
Hello, Pete.
Dame, we also have a special co-host on this first segment. It's Bring Your Daughter to Broadcasting Day. We welcome my 11-year-old daughter, Olivia. Hello, Olivia.
Hi.
Hi. It's so good to be with you. We're sitting right next to each other, broadcasting live on Facebook at the Pete the Planner page, where we always do that on noon on Fridays, where oftentimes you're upstairs in your room practicing your violin because you play the violin. So, Ollie, thanks for being part of the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, as Uncle Dame and I said on the show today in your segment, as you answer questions from us, every time you say the word you will lose your phone for a day as we work on broadcasting skills here, as we guide you to guide us in the future someday. Dame, so we wanted to do a stock market year in review a month early. So, March 23rd, which was a Monday, I remember having a phone call with you, Dame, a Slack call about the market, because it had fallen 34%. The S&P 500 had fallen 34% from February 19th to that March 23rd, that Monday when we're having that conversation. And there is no way I thought we would end up having the year we had in our stock market.
Absolutely not. It felt, terrifying for stock markets as far as that goes. But man, it felt a lot like 2008, 2009. I don't know about you, but I did not anticipate seeing a positive number end the year for the returns for the markets and the indices.
Now, Ollie, Olivia, we also call her Ollie. Ollie, when the year was starting bad and you guys were going to school, not going to school, that whole thing in the spring, and you realized that the economy was in trouble and the stock market was crashing, would it surprise you to know that the stock market is actually doing really, 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 really well right now? Did you know that, or do you think that the stock market was still in trouble?
Well, I kind of saw the news a little bit when CNN is on, just from the
ticker symbol.
Yeah, the green and red bar graph thingy. Yeah. And I knew already that you told me that some of the stock markets on there, you want to be good, and some you don't want to be good as much.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We're going to play a little guessing game between Dame and Ollie. It's a game show. I'm going to name a particular stock, and you have to tell me if it's done well, really well, bad, or really bad. Those are your four choices. Do you both understand the options?
Yes.
Okay. For something to be very well, it has to be up over 50%. Okay. Actually, you know what? That's not fair. Let's say 20%. 20%. For something to have done really well, it has to be 20% more than it was at the beginning of the year. And for it to be really bad, it has to be 20% lower than it was at the beginning of the year. And if it's just good, then it's less than 20. You know what I mean?
Got it, yeah.
Got it. All right. So, Olivia, we will start with you. You will give your answer, and then Dame, you give your answer after that. All right, Olivia. Carnival Cruise Lines. You know what Carnival Cruise Lines is? Do you think it is done really well, poorly, or very, very poorly?
I'm gonna say poorly because, no one's really going on cruises right now.
So true. We don't watch anyone on YouTube take family vacations while we sit here in our living room and eat Chex Mix, right? So we don't do that because they're not on cruise ships.
Definitely not.
Dame, what do you think? Carnival Cruise Lines, are we talking really well, poorly, very poorly?
Very poorly.
The answer is minus 55% year to date. The stock, let's say it was at one point at 100. It is now down to 45, if that was the metric. But that's not the actual quote, everybody. I was giving an example because I didn't have the quote in front of me. But it's down 55%. All right, Ollie, next round. Peloton. Do you think Peloton is up, or do you think Peloton is really up, down, or really down?
I'm going to say, even though it's not an option, but between good and really good.
Okay. Dame, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Just in that range.
Okay. Dame, what do you think?
Astronomically good.
The answer is it's up 297%. It's almost tripled in price. Unbelievable. I did see, Dame, the dean of valuations or something like this on CNBC this week said that he feels like they're overvalued and that people were lazy investors by investing in them in a period of time in which they thought people were going to buy a lot of Pelotons. But I'm struggling to see, Dame, why picking a stock that went up 300% is considered lazy. I guess I'm not the dean of valuations.
He's jealous he didn't pick it.
Totally. All right, Olivia, Delta Airlines, my preferred airline. Delta Airlines, is it really up, down, or really down?
Down.
You're close. Dame, what do you think?
What was the break for really
20% is the break.
Really down.
It is really down. It's down 27%. 27. But that makes sense, doesn't it, Ollie?
Yeah.
Normally, in the course of a year, you know that a lot of times I'm gone. I'm at a hotel or something like that. How often have I been gone this year?
0%.
Right. That's why we know that Delta Airlines is struggling. All right, Ollie, this is something that you use every single day.
Google?
Zoom.
Oh.
Is Zoom really up, down, or really down?
It's really up.
Really up. Dame, what do you think?
The girl is not wrong. It is really up.
It is up 503%. And the dean of valuations, whoever this guy is, also said that would be a lazy investment at the beginning of this year. But, Dame, we were sort of joking on the show, like, wouldn't it all be nice if we all went out and bought like plexiglass? You know what I mean? At that point in time.
Doesn't lazy money spend just as well as hard-earned money?
Yeah, absolutely does. All right, Ollie.
Mm-hmm.
AMC movie theaters. Is it really up, down, or really down? What do you think so far as of December 4th, 2020? What do you think about AMC movie theater chain?
Really down.
Dame, what do you think?
I agree with the girl.
All right, the Duns are right. It is down 50.43%. All right, final two as we round out the segment on the game show that no one asked for. Ollie, the S&P 500 is you know what the S&P 500 is?
Yeah.
It's an index that helps us understand what the market's doing. Is it up, really up, down, or really down here in 2020?
Well, it was at points up and then down again. But right now I'm going to say it's really up.
Dame, you already know the answer to this one. You're close. It is up 13%. So you're very close. Now, there is another index called the NASDAQ, which has a lot of tech companies in it. Do you think the NASDAQ, Ollie, is really up, down, or really down as of December 4th, 2020, year to date? What do you think?
Can I give a reason why?
Of course you do. It's a radio show.
Okay. Well, with, I guess, the new iPhone out, people are like wanting new phones, I guess. And so I think it's in the really up range because of the new technology that's out.
Dame, with 20 seconds left, what do you think?
Up. Really up.
Really up. The NASDAQ is up 38% so far. Ollie, thank you for being on the show this week. We really appreciate it. And you have a good day.
You too.
All right, coming up after the break, more of the Pete the Planner Show, One Less Done. That's next. I'm Pete the Planner. Look at that. You're a pro.
Yep.
Now, the people still on the stream can still see us. So don't like start doing weird stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
How'd that go?
I was good.
How many times do you think you said
Maybe 2 or 3.
You're not far. 4.
4.
Why are you even keeping track? Do you want me to suffer?
Yes. Hey, look, the other Olivia
Yeah.
or the original. I guess she's older than you.
Yeah.
Odd says good job.
Maybe Oz will give up her phone for a couple days to take some of your punishment.
4 days. You know what? I thought you did a great job. You can keep your phone. Thank you for doing that.
I was going to keep it anyway, so.
Yeah, well, I was going to shut down screen time, so.
Okay. I would like to say something about screen time.
Okay, hold on. Let me get a one shot of you. Go ahead.
If you do not have your phone controlled by your parent or somebody, you do not know what my life is like. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to go through the pain of, oh, you've reached a time limit on this app when I'm trying to show my friends something and you can't even use it. Thank you.
Ollie, I'm trying to teach you budgeting, and this time we're budgeting time instead of money. Okay,
No,
you want to go?
you. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Take this out.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Shut the door. All right, I got to switch mics. Dame, can you entertain the people here real quick? I need to switch mics.
All right, so see, now my stuff's falling apart. All right, so I'm not sure what the rest of this year has in store for all of us, but I do anticipate some exciting announcements to start happening regarding the show, actually, probably by the end of the year. And we've got some great things lined up for the show coming very early in 2021. So if you've been a faithful supporter of us online, thank you very much.
Dame, did you just let the cat out of the bag?
No, I just said we've got some great things lined up. I haven't said anything specific about it. I'm just trying to get people the appropriate amount of thanks from us, saying we appreciate them and that we are going to do an even better job in 2021 than we did this year.
All right, yeah, that's true. So here's the thing. Dame and I had 2 hours worth of radio production meetings today. This week. 2 hours, not for today's show, obviously. For next year, and we've got some pretty major changes coming your way, which I think you're going to enjoy, and we're going to need you to be a part of it. So more information on that soon. Dame, are you excited for what next year has to hold for the radio show?
I'm excited that we have anything planned for the show at all.
All right, Dame, what do you want to do next? Do you want to do the Parent Plus loan things, or do you want to do the
Can you find that question?
Yeah, I can find it. Can you handle your team's input on it?
You mean
what they had to
their
say?
Thoughts are my thoughts?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Perfect. All right, so let's do that. She did pretty good, right?
She did great.
It drives me crazy when people say, I don't care if she's 11.
You know, she started sliding down that hill. I thought it was just going to spiral into a month worth of no phone, but she got it under control. She did okay.
She actually did illustrate trying to think through the market this year of just the logic of no one's taking a cruise. That's bad. No one's getting on a plane. That's bad. Everyone's on Zoom. That's really good. Like, it doesn't take an adult to figure that out, right?
So, I mean, the market is littered with huge wins and huge losses this year. And I think it's more interesting when you find somebody who had a solid average year, like McDonald's. What do you think McDonald's has done?
See, this is a lot more interesting, okay? Because I got to think about this. I think McDonald's has had a great year because of drive-through.
Around 9 to 10% this year so far.
I'll take it. I mean, the fact that that's trailing the S&P is fascinating.
Yeah.
Right.
Pepsi. How about Pepsi? Think of everything they own.
Oh, I would say Pepsi about the same. About the
8
same.
to 9. 8 to 9%.
Yeah. All right.
How about Marriott?
Okay, by the way, these are much better ones than I chose. I chose really obvious ones, which were maybe good for Ollie. But Marriott, I would guess, is very down.
12% down. Not nearly as bad as I would have expected.
That isn't as nearly as bad. I wonder why. I bet they laid off a ton of people.
They laid off. I think they came up with a pretty aggressive plan to take care of some of the properties and maybe get out from underneath some of them. But only 12%, which was shocking to me.
All right. Do you have more? How many more of these do you have?
We'll just stick with one more.
Okay, I like them.
Disney.
Well, Disney's getting crushed.
They're up 5%.
Because they laid off everyone, and Disney Plus has all the streaming
Disney
situation.
Plus, yeah. So they're ending up okay. 5% for Disney, even though they've had nothing in their amusement parks.
New segment in 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show, just 2 duns this time. Dane, we got a great question. This is going to be a stunner. I'm going to change the name here. Why not? Hi, Pete. I've been going back and forth on an issue for months, years. And after listening to your podcast this morning, I figure I'd send you an email. I like to think I'm pretty darn responsible with money. Sometimes I'm probably too worried about money. Other than my mortgage, I just refinanced to a 15-year mortgage in the amount of $308,000. I have no debt, no credit cards, no student loans, no car payments. I make pretty good money, $216,000 salary, and also a bonus of around $75,000 each year. Dame, I would go ahead and verify. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I confirm.
Yes. I had so cash flow is good, and I max out my 401k, and my company matches 5%. Here's my question. Is it stupid to join a country club? I got 3 kids, 17, 15, and 12. Oh, man, I can imagine how loud that could be.
Yeah.
And I love getting to spend time playing golf with them. The idea of playing where it's not crowded, letting them go play by themselves whenever they want, having a new social outlet, having a go-to place, etc., just sounds really nice. The club I'm looking at certainly isn't one of the most expensive ones. He says the name, but I'm not going to say the name. I have college funds set up for the kids, not enough to pay for all of college, but some, and we have no big home improvements on the horizon. I'm 44. About a week ago, I would have been like, yeah, that guy's old, but now I'm 43, so it's not as old as I thought. Side note, time out on this. Dame, do you remember probably 15 years ago or so on the internet, there was that picture of that shirtless elderly man that was ripped? He was super strong. He had gray hair. I'll find it for the Facebook live stream. But do you remember he was like just unusually tan and just ripped, but he had like an old guy head.
What were you searching the internet for geriatric rip guys for?
No, true, I was, and not just because of retargeting ads. You would see this picture all the time. He was like a remarkably in shape old man, and I remember the time thinking, "Oh, what? Why am I watching?" Now I'm like, I wish I looked like that guy.
Yeah, oh, totally. It's testosterone replacement therapy has never been more prominently featured on my AdSense stuff than ever.
So what do you think about the country club request, Dame? I know your team dug deep into this, and you're going to take credit for their brilliant thoughts. I'll give you the first crack, and then I will give my maybe surprising answer.
I have to have some full disclosure here.
Okay.
I am not an unbiased source on this.
You're not an unbiased source. What does that mean?
I grew up on a golf course.
Okay, so if that is what it takes to be an unbiased source, I am too. I grew up, our family were members at a country club, and I swam, I sort of floated in the water and would sunburn my chest. All right, so both of us grew up going to country club. Boy, this show really is hitting its target demo.
Yeah,
we're the same. What did our brilliant teammates say?
Okay, I'll stop there. Our teammates. I think a lot of this decision, and so do my teammates, hinge on one word in this email. One word.
Divorce. No. Sorry. What?
Does not appear in the email.
Okay. Sorry.
Says he has college funds set up for the kids, not enough to pay for all of college, but some.
Some is a pretty broad subjective term.
So how much is exactly right? How much is some? What are the goals that he has set aside? Do the kids know how much they're going to be responsible for? If that's all been laid out, then it's possible you go forward with this. Enjoy the time with your family. Go make some memories. We get caught up in all sorts of other things in life and busyness. And Pete, as you know, as well as I do, you can make a lot of memories spending family time together. And if you choose to do that at a country club rather than taking trips somewhere, if you have to have some give and take in your budget, then yeah, I don't have any problem with this. If everybody's clear on what the responsibilities are going to be come college time, which is next fall, it looks like, for probably one of the kids.
Yeah, because wouldn't it be terrible that next summer, not next summer, but next summer, which would be 2 summers from now, you're playing golf with your kid who had their first year in college, and it's like, Dad, I really enjoy this. Well, I hope so, son, because it's going to mean you're $40,000 in student loan debt by the time you get out of school. That's an uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, Dad needs a new set of TaylorMates to make his way around the course. So you're going to have to figure out a way to pay for books. You just don't know.
Okay, but let's say this though. I understand that point, and that's fair. I'm actually leaning to a yes on this one, and here's why. The person's cash flow is significant. So unless the 3 kids are going to private school right now, they could cash flow college relatively easily. I mean, if he's making 300,000, just under 300,000, let's figure out some taxes. Let's be aggressive. 210. I mean, he's got probably $15,000 of cash flow a month.
There's 2 things that are also worthy of being pointed out here.
Okay.
Doesn't mention anything about savings, although we could assume that there's probably a nice emergency fund or some free cash flow to do that, but nothing is mentioned. And he lists a lot of things that he's really happy about. No credit cards, student loans, maxes out the 401k. Maxing out the 401k, by the way, with that much income may or may not make the world go round by the time it comes to retirement. So that's something else you need to consider. And then,
but dude, I also don't think we're talking tens of thousands of dollars to join this country club.
I don't know. I mean, private clubs are all over the map. There's clubs in this area that have an initiation fee of $40,000, let alone your annual membership fee. I searched for it. It's not out there, as private clubs are wont to do, to not put that information out there.
I think I have a friend who's a member there. You know what? Should I text and see if he'll tell me before we go?
Do you think they'll respond in 2 minutes?
Well, no, we have still,
we'll
2
back.
segments of the show
Sure.
left. I'll say this. I think it's not a hard no, and I'd be willing to give a hard no. It's definitely not a hard no, but the determination will be if this person can come up with a good answer for what the word sum means, and then to objectively look at the cost of this membership and say, hey, it's not 30 grand, it's $7,000. Do you think it's probably not $7,000?
I have no idea. I can't make that. My guess was between 5 and 10, to be honest, but I don't know.
I don't think this falls into this category, but I remember when I was a financial advisor, I got on this run of clients, these couples that honestly, it was like a joke. I thought that was being filmed for a practical joke show. People were like, yeah, I realize we're $30,000 in credit card debt, but we're going to go to Disney because you cannot put a price on memories. And I was like, oh yeah, you can actually. Yeah, you can. And I get the feeling that attitude is what got you 30. And that sounds condescending. It sounds like I told you so, which is generally not my thing. But Damian, I don't think this fella is on that spectrum. I think he is making a reasonable decision. He's not $30,000 in debt. He has a huge income. He can cash flow college. But that does annoy me when people are like, oh, well, we're making memories,
Sure. I get that. And I've said the same thing in other conversations, but I'm hedging towards yes, assuming that he's got enough right answers in the other places as well, or at least answers that everybody knows that are on the table, and that's the rules they're going to have to play by. But yeah, I am surprisingly, probably to everybody listening, as you are, not opposed to this step.
Just to be very clear and very honest, 2 people who grew up going to country clubs that they did not pay for are telling this person who has to pay to go to a country club that it's a good decision.
And that their kids may be paying for some of their college is okay too.
All right. Speaking of, coming up after the break, what schools have the highest percentage of Parent Plus loans? Dame, was that the segue of the year?
Yes.
It felt really good. All that's next on the Pete the Planner Show. I'm Pete the Planner. Look, I mean, if a guy that makes $300,000 has no debt, has at least $15,000 of cash flow, and some college paid for, can't afford to have a country club membership, Dame, who can have a country club membership?
People who make $500,000.
That's a good point. I'm resetting the audio. What do you guys think? They're watching live on Facebook and watching on YouTube. You're a quiet bunch today. I think you were just stunned by all of Ollie's ums. What do you think? Do you think he should get the country club membership or not? Even if a country club sort of vibe's not your thing, I'm just curious, based on the financials that he shared, whether you think that makes sense or not. Dane, what do you think the majority of the people are going to say? No?
I think it's going to be split, honestly.
Yeah.
If we get responses, I think it'll be split.
I don't play golf. Like I have other hobbies. I don't play golf. I used to. I used to have season tickets to the Colts, which always felt like that was sort of a small country club membership sort of feel. So I've had those sorts of indulgences before. Oz says yes. Oz says yes. Love it. All right, so there's one. All right, Dame. So you're gonna have to do the heavy lifting on this Wall Street Journal thing, because I don't have access to it. I spent my money on the New York Times. I don't have you'd think I would have a membership, or a subscription, I should say, to the Wall Street Journal, given that I'm the CEO of a financial company, but I chose.
Well, they were running a $4 a month special for the next 12 months. But
oh, really?
Yeah,
I should totally do that. So yeah, so far we're at 100% doable. Daniel says yes. Denise says yes. This is really weird and arguably creepy. Denise's last name is Ashelman. I love that last name. It's weird to tell somebody you like the sound of their last name. I've always but no, as someone who announces people's names when I MC events and do I always have to pronounce people's names, and some sound easy to say and are fun to say, some are not. And to me, in a weird way, I like the name Ashelman.
I think the only way we'll know if this is creepy is if you already have 2 or 3 other names off the top of your head that you like to say.
Ferguson. And Carpentier.
Carpentier.
Yeah, it's French Canadian for carpenter.
Is that
okay?
Does that come with Corinthian leather?
1 Corinthians. It's my favorite Bible verse.
2 Corinthians.
2 Corinthians.
2 Corinthians.
Oh, what a biblical scholar that man is. Okay, are you ready to carry this segment like most?
I can do my best.
All right, so I'm going to set it up of what I think it is, and you just go ahead and correct me. In 3, 2. Oh, wait. Hey, if you enjoy this show, go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts and give us 5 stars. Also, leave very positive comments, so that when people leave comments like the ones people have left recently because they disagree with the politics of the show, those things go away. Here's the thing. I'm okay if you disagree with my politics. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean mine are right and yours are wrong. But here's what I don't like. And here's what someone recently commented on iTunes, which is now just glaring us in the face. They said we said something we didn't say. They said that we were like, hey, forgive all the student loans. Believe me, we've talked about it for 2 weeks. And at not any point in time did we say, forgive all the student loans. So don't say we said that. And for all the rest of you, go comment on iTunes in a positive way. Comment on our looks. 3, 2, 1. Back on the Pete the Planner show. Dame, earlier this day, you sent me a Slack message, now owned by Salesforce, that said, man, we're going to be paying Salesforce even more now. Did you think about that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, me too. So you sent me a message that said, hey, there's a really cool tool on Wall Street Journal, WSJ.com, that allows a person to see what the average Parent Plus loan utilization is to send your kid to a particular college. Did I say that about right?
Yeah, I think you got the gist of it.
Okay, so just for an example, can you pull out a public university here locally, maybe a Indiana University, a Purdue University, a Ball State? Let people know what and give the specifics of it. Is it the average Parent Plus loan balance for graduates or students, or what is it?
Yeah, so this tool is going to show you 2 different numbers. The first is going to be the average Parent Plus loan that's taken out for the student. And then there's another category that is also for lower income students, because there are some additional aid potentially in there as well. So we're going to focus just on the headline number, the average for the Parent Plus for the average student, I should say. And we'll give you some examples. IU. Do you want to make this a guessing game, Pete?
Yes.
Average Parent Plus loan? Average Parent Plus loan for IU Bloomington campus.
Is this 4 years or 1 year?
4.
Okay.
Now this is it takes into consideration aid that has been given to the student.
And I also have to take in consideration out-of-state students.
This is true.
Because that doubles the cost of the.
This is true.
And international students, which is like 100,000. I don't want to say that, but it's a lot. It may be 100,000.
Maybe.
$27,000.
Close.
What is
Not
it?
really. $37,000.
That's close. There's a 7.
30.
There's another digit.
Yeah, that's true.
So
All
wait,
right.
the average Parent Plus loan is 37,000, and then the graduate, the student themselves has student loans on top of that. Do we know what that number is?
I don't have that number in front of me.
Okay. What was the other number you said that's a factor within this? People getting aid. What are you saying there?
Oh, no. So they have the average income. Sorry, the average Parent Plus loan, but then they also have the lower low income recipients as well. So for this purpose, we're just going to stick with the average.
And to be very clear, you and I are not against a lot of things because we think every story has its own details. That being said, we really want people to avoid Parent Plus loans because to borrow money for an education you're leveraging for your own income is one thing, but to borrow money for someone else to leverage an income, that is throwing yourself on a grenade in a not so great way.
You are putting obstacles in your path that are going to possibly prevent you from retiring on time and other things when you take out a Parent Plus loan. I understand that you want to do the best for your child and get them the education that you feel they deserve at the dream school that they've always wanted to go to. It's not always in everybody's best interest to do that, though.
All right, Dame, let's do some other schools. What do you got for me?
Purdue. Guess Purdue.
Purdue's going to be lower. It's going to be 25,000.
32.
Okay, so it's lower.
Lower.
But
You're right. It is lower. You're 50% right.
Dame, this is a little bit terrifying if I'm being honest with you. I'm going to be very bold and dramatic here. I think the biggest crisis in retirement readiness, short of healthcare, which is its own giant crisis, potentially in the next several years will be Parent Plus loans, taking on student loans for someone else. Now, 25,000 or 32,000 or 37,000 for that matter isn't the end of the world, but it certainly doesn't help you in the twilight of your working years.
Are Parent Plus loans included in any of the proposals for student loan forgiveness?
No way. Not that I've seen.
I would doubt it too, but I mean, if we're going to talk about making big changes in how student debt could potentially impact families going forward, getting rid of some Parent Plus loans could make a huge difference.
Did I send you my I don't send my columns as much as I used to you. Did I send my USA Today one to you this week?
I don't think so.
A mom in New Jersey is sending her daughter to school, the first generation college student. And she's like, hey, I know student loan forgiveness is on the way. One college we're looking at is X amount number of dollars, and the second one is $15,000 more. Should we just go to the one that's $15,000 more because student loans are going to be forgiven? Right? I mean, wait, what? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there, right? It's like, no wonder I wrote 700 words about that. Yeah. But all right, give me more. Give me a private school. I want a private school.
All right. Rose-Hulman.
Okay, okay. So normally Rose-Hulman with tuition's what, $55,000, $60,000, something like that?
It's right up there.
Oh man. Okay, so this is going to be a spicy tamale here. 62,000.
81.
Oh my god. What do we do? Seriously?
81. According to the tool on the Wall Street Journal, they are in the top 10 nationwide.
Wait, $81,000 is the average Parent Plus loan balance for a family who sends a student to Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology.
According to this tool, yes.
They don't say that in the admissions office.
No.
Oh my God. Dame. It's funny. I was about to say I'm speechless, but I'm usually the most speechless person you'll ever meet. But that's ridiculous.
Yeah. You want to do another one?
Yes, I do, but I almost want to call Rose Holman and get a response. There has to be some. Well, there has to be. That can't be right.
Are you questioning the integrity and the research abilities of the Wall Street Journal?
Yeah. Okay, give me another one.
Okay. Butler.
Oh, this one's gonna hurt. But the average Parent Plus balance after 4 years for a family who sends their kids to Butler University, I use 37,000, Purdue's 32,000, Rose Holman is 81,000, Butler is 62,000. 50. You know,
if we're comparing IU to Butler for Parent Plus loans that we don't want anybody to ever take at all.
Yeah, right.
Is Butler worth the little extra?
I don't know. I mean, is it the degree?
I don't know. All right, let's go to the opposite end of the scale.
Okay.
Regional campus, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Average Parent Plus loan.
I feel like the parent walks away with like $1,700. No, I'm just joking.
Hey,
the Mastodons, right?
That's right. But yes.
Did they change when they went to IPFW?
I think Purdue got custody of the Mastodons.
Yeah. You and I were at an event at IPFW together.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
2 years ago.
Oh, so 80 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't. $1,500, honestly. Like, what is it?
12 grand.
What? I'm sorry, man. I don't buy this thing.
You're drastically overestimating people's savings for college.
No, I guess where I'm going with this is I know what the federal student loan maximum is for students. Mm-hmm. And so I'm doing that math and I'm not coming up with the remainder that these calculations are coming up with.
I'm just reading the article for you.
$12,000 is the average Parent Plus loan balance.
Yep.
Can you send me that link? I might have to subscribe to the Wall Street.
It won't do you any good.
That's a good point. Screenshot it. every do you have any more? Can you give me, let's get a really, really, really expensive school. Colorado College. It's one of the most expensive schools on the planet.
I can't find it. Sorry.
Okay, let's get another expensive school. What's another really super expensive school here?
You gonna do an Ivy League real quick?
Yeah, I mean, I know they got a lot of whatever, but do like Yale,
Harvard.
Okay,
52.
What's Yale?
Do we have time?
Yeah, we've got 20 seconds. Type faster, Jimmy.
39.
So Butler has higher Parent Plus loans than Yale, but I guess you would theoretically say the people that have Yale have the money to send the. I don't know. Anyway, coming up after the break, biggest waste of money of the week. It's a doozy. And some current events that'll blow your mind, including getting paid to get a vaccine. All that's next. I'm Pete the Planner. Man, I don't know what I think about that last segment.
I'm trying to find a little summary of poor and middle income students at hundreds of colleges. Can you still hear me or did you reset?
I have not reset, but I'm just reading your wife's comment. Things to consider. Lots of students go more than 4 years. Also, I'm willing to bet it's only averaging students with Parent Plus loans, which means no one with zero gets averaged in. See, that's a really good point, Dame.
That's why she should be doing my job.
Can she co-host the show with me sometime?
Maybe.
Does she like the public speaking?
No.
Yes, that'd be
great. How about a show of her and Ollie?
Yeah. That'd be great. I like that mocking. I'm sorry. It's really rude. Okay. So let me pull. You got your stories pulled up?
I did not say just yes, I do.
Dame, I have to tell you this. During the beginning of the last segment, I glanced at my email inbox and saw an email in my inbox that I've been waiting for about 4 weeks.
Really?
And I so badly want to even read the preview of the email to see what direction that email is going. But I fear no matter what it says, I would not be able to concentrate and finish the show.
Derail the rest of the show.
Yes. Oh, it will absolutely derail the rest of the show. So needless to say, after the show, you and I are going to read that together. So
fantastic.
Are you ready to go, Boim?
You've got the bomb, right?
Yeah, I got the bomb.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, don't want to look at that. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. This week's biggest waste of money of the week right here on the Pete the Planner show is the Royal Pursuit seat. Yes, the Royal Pursuit seat. Just because. Oh, pardon me. The Rolls Royce Pursuit seat. That changes the complexity of it. Man, I'm a dummy. Dame, were you going to point that out to me?
No, I have no idea what this is.
The Rolls Royce Pursuit seat. Just because you're roughing it doesn't mean your bum has to. Rolls Royce has created the Pursuit seat, so your bottom never has to experience anything other than pure luxury. Made with a polished aluminum and carbon fiber base, the bespoke stool. I love the phrase bespoke stool. Is lightweight for easy transporting. The seat itself is crafted from padded natural grain leather and can even be made to match your car's interior. It anchors to the ground with a retractable spike and includes a slim flashlight for night treks. Dame, you were looking at the screen right now. You see what I'm talking about. Do you care to guess what this contraption made by Rolls-Royce? It's one of those, like, you see like at a golf match, people have like a stick with a small saddle on it. What do you think this costs?
Here's the deal. Rolls-Royce cares about details, and they have like umbrella holders in the doors of their cars that come with a Rolls-Royce umbrella inside of them. So this is not out of left field for them, but I know they're prohibitively expensive. I'm going to guess that stool is a $5,000 option.
Oh, that's a great guess. If you're interested in being wrong, this stool is $8,800.
I bet used.
Well, here's what you did not account for: the slim flashlight in case you're taking a trek during the night.
That's right.
All right, Dame. What are actually? I know you're doing current events this week, but I just have to say there is one story that I sent over, I think, to you yesterday, and a lot of people saw it. I think it was John Delaney has this proposal, who is a former Democratic candidate for president. In order to get a stimulus payment for the government, this is his proposal. He is no longer in government. You would have to get a vaccine in order to get a $1,500 stimulus check. Now, here's where I'm struggling with this, Dame. You already know I want everyone to get a vaccine. You already know I want a lot of people to get stimulus checks. But I have a problem with attaching the two to each other. Do you?
Totally. And I'll leave my ideology and politics to the side. 58% of the country's already said that they're willing to get a vaccine. If they're trying to get to this magic 75% of the country getting vaccinated quickly, you're paying a ton of money to influence a very small percentage of people.
And you probably will not influence them. You'll likely anger them. And that seems counterproductive.
I don't agree with this proposal at all.
At first, I actually had mixed feelings about it. I was like, okay, well, that kind of makes sense. But your point of, like, who is it actually influencing? Probably close to no one.
Nobody.
Yeah. Dame, what else is in the news?
U.S. mortgage rates edged lower this week for the 14th time this year. Pete, any guesses to what a 30-year mortgage is right now, according to Freddie Mac?
2.95.
2.71.
Ooh. Well, here's what stinks, man. Because I keep a tab on the 15-year rate, and I like to look at like a 10-year rate. But oftentimes the 10-year rate is the same as the 15-year rate for a lot of lending institutions. Does it happen to say what the 15-year rate is?
You took the words out of my mouth. Do you want to guess on that one?
Yes. 2.15.
226.
Oh.
So you were close.
I've literally guessed nothing right today.
But you've been close, which is all I can ask for.
Yeah, it's true. What else is in the news?
Cadillac is willing to pay dealers iffy on electric vehicles $500,000 to hit the road.
What? Say it again. I didn't even register.
GM is willing to pay Cadillac dealers $500,000 to give up their dealerships if they don't like the prospect of selling electric cars.
Okay, so somewhere, some person is like, I don't want to sell electric cars. And they're like, fine, here's $500,000. Go away.
Yeah, basically, if they're not going to promote and advertise and really get behind the electric car revolution, I don't know.
That's a bit aggressive.
It might be a lot.
That's a bit much.
They'll say, fine, yeah, you don't have to do what you don't want, and we will make this decision easy on you by basically buying your dealership back for $500,000.
But here's what you and I both know: dealerships are worth a lot more than $500,000.
Totally. But
so is it I guess I'm struggling to understand who in the world would take that offer.
I have no idea.
We're back to who are we influencing again? Is that the whole? is that the theme this week?
Could be.
Actually, it could be. I was doing a radio interview yesterday for the Indianapolis Business Journal podcast, which would be a podcast interview, and we were talking about the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, whatever, of 2017, the Trump tax cuts. And as part of the increase of standardized deductions, fewer people itemize their deductions on their taxes. And the hypothesis was, for critics, why did I say critics that way? That was dumb. The hypothesis for critics is that it would decrease charitable giving because people would not be as incentivized to itemize. Therefore, they're not going to give as generously. Well, turns out that wasn't true. 2019, I believe, with a couple of factors in there, was the most generous year ever, despite the fact that half the itemized deduction choice fell by half from the previous year. So it means half the number of people itemized, and yet the standard deduction was enough to influence people to still give generously in the year 2019.
If there was ever a prediction that I was glad to see be completely wrong, it was the fact that people are going to give regardless of a tax incentive.
Yeah, I know that there's sometimes those match programs like, hey, the first 20,000 funds will be matched. I'm not sure. And this is totally out of left field, and I have no expertise here. I'm just not sure you can incentivize a person to be charitable. I think they either get it or they don't.
That's an interesting point. I'd love to see a study done on that.
I'm sure there are. You and I are just too lazy to read them.
Yeah, colleges, if you could make one of those studies known to us and write it so a 5-year-old would understand it, we'd love to read it.
And maybe send one of our kids to that university so they could get access to it, and we'll take on tens of thousands of dollars of Parent Plus loans.
Happy to.
Man, how did that Wall Street Journal story not get more attention this week?
Today?
Yeah, it just
came out yesterday, so I don't know.
I know there's a lot. Turns out there's a pretty active news cycle right now, but that's significant, man.
Well, it's all going to get forgiven, right?
Stop. I can't. Oh, by the way, if you enjoy our show, go to iTunes or wherever you get podcasts, leave a review, a 5-star review, say you like us, those sorts of things. And be sure to be accurate with your comments and your comments about our comments.
Don't simply say what you think we said. Be accurate.
Right. Dame, I got to call Rose Holman this week. I mean, not that I would, because I got too many other things to do. But what do they do? If you're one of those universities, they're in the top 10 highest Parent Plus loan balances, Rose Holman is. Do they issue a press release or a correction or a statement? Like, that's a nightmare.
I would think that they would want to get in front of that as soon as they possibly could.
I haven't listened to the commercials that run during our program in quite some time. What are the chances? Rose Holman Institute of Technology is a... But don't they also win like best value education or something like that?
Do they?
I think.
I mean, it's a top-notch education. Nobody disputes that.
No one disputes that.
Very expensive.
Dame, we got to go. So, hey, everybody, thanks for listening this week. We're sending you good vibes because good vibes are all that's in the budget. Go to iTunes, leave a positive review. If you've got a negative review, leave it on a different show. I'm Pete the Planner. Look, as soon as this show's over and I read this email that I've been wanting to read, I'm not working for the rest of the day. Actually, based on this email, I may have to work the rest of the day, but I haven't read it yet. So we'll find out. But I'm going to be thinking about that Wall Street Journal story the entire time.
I can read it to you after we're off the air.
That's romantic. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting Ollie be part of the show too. That was sort of fun. You know, Dame, she's been on the show before. She had a podcast. Like she can talk. I don't know. I think we stunned her. The bright lights of the studio, seeing Uncle Dame, everything scared her.
I think it was the pressure of having a second adult male done on the show.
I think it was the live stream. She's never had the live audience stream.
Oh, she's never been faced with it.
Yeah. Because you're looking into a big camera and whatever. Yeah. All right, Dame, I'm hanging up here and everyone, and then you and I are connecting on the radio thing.
I will be here.
Toodaloo. I'm stop